It would be easy to introduce Robert J. Sawyer by listing the science fiction-related literary awards he has won, which is to say, to a first approximation, all of them, or to mention his forays into other media, including television, or to cite his recent induction into the Order of Canada and his obvious pleasure in administering the oath of citizenship to newly minted Canadians. There's a great deal to say about Rob Sawyer. But I'm here as a writer whose career has overlapped with Rob's, and as a friend who has known him since we were barely published novices, who shared the absurd, impossible ambition of making a career out of writing fiction. Our paths crossed often during those early years, including the occasions when our mutual publisher sent us on a couple of low-rent conjoined book tours, a 2-for-1 deal billed as the Rob and Bob Show, an experience much like being the world's most obscure rock stars, escorted by publicists who barely knew our names, from cheap hotels to tiny venues where our most enthusiastic fans would all show up, sometimes both of them at once. The fact that we survived that experience with our friendship intact is testimony to Rob's amazing patience, his generosity, and his sense of humor. A great many writers in our field can say similar things, and Rob's commitment to supporting his colleagues, including working with new and younger writers, deserves much more recognition than it has yet received. But what has impressed me most over the 30-some years of Rob's career is his body of work, comprising a kind of science fiction that isn't just imaginative, though it is brilliantly imaginative, and not just entertaining, though it is unfailingly entertaining, but which is both meaningful and anchored in the real world. His fiction is thematically rich, and it engages genuine moral and ethical questions. This is what fiction does best, of course, but it is too often what genre fiction shies away from, even though science fiction possesses some of the sharpest tools for challenging our prejudices and our misconceptions. Rob has used those tools to show us futures that are not just technologically, but ethically advanced, better worlds in every sense of the word, and to invite us to join him in imagining how those worlds might be made real. More than that, Rob's fiction knows that the intimacy and immediacy of life exists in parallel with our place in a much larger, dauntingly vast, but ultimately comprehensible cosmos, and he has a remarkable talent for keeping those perspectives in simultaneous focus: the intimate and the infinite, the daily experience of life, and the chasms of time and space in which our lives are embedded. That isn't an easy thing for a writer to do. It takes a love of the written word, a real understanding of science, a knack for communicating complex ideas in the simplest possible way, and a deeply engaged intellectual curiosity. And those qualities shine from the pages of his books. Those of you who have read his work know what I'm talking about. Those of you who haven't are in for a treat. All that is part of the reason Rob has received so many awards and honors, part of the reason he is being honored here today, and among the many reasons I am proud to call him a colleague and a friend.